morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. So today we're gonna discuss about our topic, which is the decision-making tools. So what is the difference between problem analysis and decision-making? Problem analysis involves identifying the problem of a certain organization and establishing its causes and effects to what the problem is. It ensures causes, not just symptoms of the problem, is identified and subsequently addressed in the project design. It is the overview of the problem before coming up in a certain decision. While decision making, it is a making of various options, weighing pros and cons. This is where you take focus on crucial steps that can help in taking the right decision. The actions that give the best outcome for yourself and others. Decision making is taken rationally. It is taking various focus on crucial steps to come up the right decision. Here are the steps of how you make decision making. Step 1. You need to make decision. So you must try to clearly define the nature of decision you must make. This first step is very important. Step 2. Collect some pertinent information before you make decisions. What information is needed. This involves internal and external process. When we say internal, it is the seek through the process of self-assessment, while external, it is to find online books, other people, and other resources. Step 3. As you collect information, you will probably identify the several possible paths of actions or alternatives. You can also make imagination and additional information to construct new alternatives. In this step, you will list all possible and desirable alternatives. Step 4. This is where you favor some alternatives that has higher potential in reaching your goal. Step 5. Once you weighed the evidences, you are now ready to set the alternatives that seems to be the best one for you. So in this step, you will select alternatives that most suits for your decision making. In step 6, it is where you begin implementing the alternatives you choose in step 5. Step 7, consider results of your decision making. Evaluate whether or not it has resolved the need of your problem, which you are deciding on step 1. If not, you may repeat certain steps of the process to make new decision. Example is gather more detailed or somewhat different information or explore additional alternatives.
Analysis of alternatives, or known as AOA. So it is an analytical comparison or evaluation of proposed approaches to meet an objectives. An analysis of alternatives can be applied to anything from a large military acquisition decision to a decision between two products. So it is an alternatives in decision making is essential to evaluate multiple alternatives because the decision making process may require more than one. There must be a set of criteria to evaluate each alternative and compare them to one another. To eliminate for ineffective alternatives, there will be a provided method for that. So in analysis in AOA, it refers to making estimate of future cost, performance, and other critical measures in order to understand the risk of following the course of action. So AOA is an assessment of various options present for reaching goal. So AOA is part of decision-making progress. So mag-exist ang AOA when it is used whenever a solution is needed and when a decision maker is in a decision-making progress. They want to know the best course for moving forward because an alternative analysis will show them the way. So another best way to understand AOA is it was usually seen in life cycle costing. So, for example, Ana is you were planning to buy a car. So, dapat ikaw nga buyer, dapat ang dili ra nimo hunahon ang price tag sa imuha nga future car. So, dapat ang imuha pod hunahon is ang kanang mga expenses nga imong masugatan sa imuha car. Like insurance sa sakyanan, gas, oil changes, and other maintenance nga makakip sa maong car or sa imong car nga mudagan. So, always remember that the ultimate goal of AOA is to support making robust resource allocation and decision. So, naasay mga AOA nga or ang AOA sad kay naay mga management or department nga nag-adapt ana. Just like Office of Management and Budget or OMB and Department of Defense or DOD. So the reason why is to ensure that the multiple alternatives have been analyzed prior to making costly investment decision.
Analytical DI, kay they carefully analyze the data, come up with a solution. They're careful and adaptable thinker. They will invest time to glean information to form a conclusion. These decision makers were task-oriented but have a high tolerance for ambiguity. They also take time to compile data and evidence before they come to a conclusion. When they do make a decision, they look at all the details and form what they believe is the best option. Ang conceptual decision maker is those who make decision with a conceptual style are big picture thinkers who are willing to take risks. When we say big picture thinkers, they are often to see the long-term possibilities of a plan and the overall potential for success since they use the strategy that focuses on the entire concept.
3 is directed, driven by results. It is motivated by success and passionate about working and achieving higher results. Relies primarily on rules and processes. Example, government, agencies, police departments, health institutions, and many others. Next is aggressive nature. Any behavior or act aimed at harming a person or animal or damaging property. Prefers to make decisions alone. Because individual decision making takes time, money, and energy. Intuitive nature. Based on our agreeing with what is known or understood without any proof or audience. That is intuitive nature. Next is typically reacts quickly and doesn't like to dwell on decisions. Indecision isn't always bad. Sometimes decision gives you valuable time to think about the situation. Next is strong verbal communicator. Strong verbal communicator, when they can clearly, effectively, and emphatically communicate their ideas, or truly listen to and give feedback on others' ideas. Next is enforce people once a decision is made. By identifying a decision, gathering information, and assessing alternative solutions. 4 is behavioral. Generally supportive. Example, a team player. You are kind and helpful to someone at a difficult or unhappy time in their life. Next is empathetic nature. Empathetic nature, having the ability to take another's perspective. Next is looks to others for advice. Example is to ask for advice or to receive advice to the others. Next is get buy-in from stakeholders before making a decision. It is to improve communication with stakeholders and make sure they feel like an important of a team. Next is persuasive nature. Persuasive nature is attempts to influence people's beliefs, attitudes, intentions, motivations, or behaviors in relation to an event, idea, objects, or other person or persons. Next is good communicator. Good communicator for example, is delivered by a good ideas or bad news with empathy and listen and hear what the other person is seeing. Next is relies on implied data. Examples reading people, like information that is provided intentionally. For example, through surveys, membership registration forms.
Program and non-program decision are routine and repetitive in nature. These decisions deal with common and frequently occurring problems in an organization, such as buying behavior of consumers, sanctioning of different types of leave to employees, forecasting decision, salary increment, and etc. Here are the examples of program decision and non-program decision. First, program decision. Developing quickly work schedules for part-time employees, decision regarding personnel arriving late to work and reordering office supplies. And the non-program decision, deciding whether to acquire another organization, deciding which global markets offer the most potential, or deciding whether to sell off an unprofitable vision.
Operational and strategic decision. First, we tackle about operational decision. These decisions are just normal function of the organization, does not require much time and take a shorter time as compared to other decision taking. Day-to-day decision that have only short-term impact on a company. The main decision of operational is to create a harmony in our organization and to see whether the management is proper or not. This include the scheduling employee, training of specific tasks in company, pro- processing office suppliers, assigning work employees. Strategic decision it include all present issue and problem. The main idea is to achieve better working condition, better equipment, and efficient use of existing equipment. This decision is a long term. Kumpara sa operational decision, short term siya. Kani pong strategic, long term ni siya nga decision. Na nag-create pa man ni sila og vision, mission o goal. Kani nga decision na strategic. And it include the election of officer and executive, annual budgeting and audits, shareholder distribution, and adaptation adaptation of employee benefits plan.
Organizational and personal decision. If the decision is taken collectively keeping in mind the organizational goal, it is known as the organizational goal. And if the manager takes any decision in the personal capacity, organizational decision making is the process which one or more organizational units make a decision on behalf of the organization. It is very important that the decisions are effective so that the organization can function in an efficient manner. Example, decision taken by managers in the ordinary course of business in their capacity as managers. Second example, decision regarding introducing a new incentive system. Third example, transferring an employee. Fourth or last example, reallocation or redeployment of employees, etc. are taken by managers to achieve certain objectives. Personal decision. This decision may sometimes affect the functioning of the organization as well. For example, if the employee has decided to leave the organization, it may affect the organization. The authority of taking personal decision cannot be delegated and it's dependent on the individual self. Personal decision is the process of exercising your free will by choosing what to do. Our daily life decisions give us opportunities to become better at what we do. Such steps eventually lead to better decisions and outcomes. You may have many decision-making examples on daily life such as deciding what to wear, deciding what to eat for lunch, choosing which book to read, choosing what task to do next.
Major and minor decision. This is classified as the type of decision making in management where decision related to purchase of new premise is a major decision. This is taken by top management whereas the purchase of stationery is a minor decision. Minor decision can be taken by the superintendent. Example, a major decision has a significant impact on the business and is taken by the top management, while as a minor decision, impact is low but also considered impactful to the business, and this is taken by the superintendent.
Individual decision is made by one person. Like, pareha nimo, ikaw maghimo sa imong kagalingong decision. Group decision making, because the performance of group involves taking into account the needs and an opinion of every group member, being able to come to an equitable decision as a group. The 7-step decision making model presented below offer an effective structure or for choosing an appropriate course of action for a particular task or project. It can also be an effective method for dealing with a problem or interpersonal conflict that arises within the group. Number 1, identify the decision to be made. Before beginning to gather information and list alternatives, it is important for you as a group to understand clearly and what you are trying to decide. Do you have a goal on which is focus your discussion? Potential question to ask are: what are the particular of the assigned task? What we're being asked to do? What conflict is affecting our group effectiveness? What barrier to effective group work are we facing? Number 2, analyzes the issue under discussion. Once you have defined your goal to be made or the problem to be overcome, examine the data and resources that you already have. Identify what additional information you may need. Ask yourselves, what is causing the problem? For whom is the problem? What's wrong with the current situation? Why do we need to deal this issue or decision? Where else can we find resources? Number 2, establish criteria. Identify the criteria or condition what would determine whether a chosen solution is a successful. Ideally, a solution will be feasible, move the group forward, and meet the needs of every group member. You may want to rank the criteria in order of importance. For example, circumstance may such that some issues may not be fully resolved. Consider that this question: what will make a solution or decision successful? What issue need to deal within the solution? What criteria will help us determine whether everyone is happy with a solution and or decision? Are the criteria more necessary than others? Number 4, brainstorm. Potential solutions using the resources and information collected above. Brainstorm of 4 potential solution to the problem or decision identified in step 1. This involves collecting as many ideas possible. At this stage, ideas should not be critiqued or evaluated. Some questions to ask include: what are some possible solutions that would meet most of our established criteria? Are the options that we may have overlooked? What will we do in its absence of constraints? Number 5, evaluate options and select the best one. Once you have a list of the potential solutions, you are now ready to evaluate them for the best alternative according to the criteria identified in step 3. Remember that you are able to combine ideas to create a solution. Ideally, everyone would agree the solution, but it's possible that not everyone will. In this case, you will need to use different decision-making methods. Additional question to ask when evaluating alternatives are: what are the pros for each option? Which option is the best realistic of the accomplish for now? Which option is the best likely to solve the problem for the long term? Then number 6, implement the solution. This is the involves of identifying the resources necessary to implement the decision as well as the potential obstacles. Then taking action. Decide what should be done, how, by whom, by when, and what order. Number 7, monitor and evaluate the outcome based on the criteria identified. Step 3, evaluate whether the decision was successful. It's not revisit. Step 4, to evaluate the other option or generate new ones. Decision making methods. In order to make the jump from brainstorm potential solution for the solving problem to evaluating and selecting the best solution, group member need to make decision. There are several possible method decision making that a group can use. A few of them are rarely described below, with advantage on the left and disadvantage on the right for each one.
Tactical and operational decisions. So these tactical decisions, it is pertaining to decisions that has a long-term effect to the organization. Certainly, this decision is taken by top management Its examples is the location of the plant and productions of their project. Operational decisions, these are taken by lower level managers. They are the one who is in charge for day-to-day decision making in a certain organizations.